Levels of objectivity. Being able to sense detail and psychic information accurately requires a kind of objectivity that doesn't always come easy. You may have heard of the idea that the psychic gift is for others and is not meant for the psychic themselves, as if this ability or capability is bestowed by an unforeseen grand intelligence to those for use with others but never intended or meant for the self. Although a noble idea, its basis is a bit more practical in nature. It all has to do with the mind and personal bias. When a client comes to me for a reading, although I do care about the individual, I don't really have any invested interest in their life or the choices that they make. Because of my lack of investment, I am able to see or be open to things from a more objective perspective. This objectivity allows me to be more aware and experience energy or information much more clearly. The more you care about the outcome, the more your own personal views, ideas, and bias will affect the sensed information. In other words, there's more of you put into the details. The less you are personally affected, the less you care. The less of you there is in the details. This is why it is much easier to read for a complete stranger than it is to read for a loved one or for yourself. That does not mean you can't read for a friend, loved one, or yourself. It just makes it more challenging as there's an added layer of complexity with the sensing. The closer you are to your own personal experience and circumstances, the harder it is to prevent that internal chatter and being overwhelmingly affected by your own feelings and ideas. The further away you are from the subject, the easier it is to remain objective and see things much more clearly and accurately. This is another reason why you should usually avoid turning a client into a friend. If you turn a client into a friend and develop a closeness, then your visions and psychic impressions become skewed and much more confusing. Your objectivity is compromised and will impact any read you make because the amount of personal bias goes up. Objectivity is an essential component when sensing things accurately. If a psychic tries to make a world prediction, their likelihood of being inaccurate may go up drastically depending on the topic matter. If they are doing it because they want others to see that they are a psychic, then they have an invested interest in the outcome, so their mind may reach for much more dramatic details because they unintentionally want to make a show of it. The prediction may also hold a personal stake for them in their own views and beliefs. Such was the case with many psychics during the 2016 American election between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. So many psychics predicted inaccurately regarding the winner of the election. Many of the psychics had such a personal stake in the outcome that their world prediction became personal and were directly affected by their own bias. Under such circumstances, it is relatively impossible to get any kind of accurate read on the situation or the individual.